Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, April 20th. I hope everyone had a great weekend. For this week, we are going to continue our work around African elephants. So, you all did some research to gain some background knowledge. We also did a preview of the book and a book walk to gain some more information. So, today we're actually going to start reading our book and doing what's called monitoring our comprehension. So, one way readers monitor their comprehension is to stop and jot or stop and take notes. When we're talking about a nonfiction book such as this, we want to pay attention to important facts. We want to pay attention to what's the main idea. What things does the author keep repeating and talking about, and what does he mainly want us to know about our topic? And also recognizing what that topic is also helps you when you're monitoring your comprehension. So if we think about this book as a whole, the topic, and you want to try to keep your topic to 1 to 2 words. So the topic of this book would be elephants, or you could say African elephants. This is just an example, but if I was thinking of a main idea, like I said, this is just an example. This is not necessarily the main idea of this book, but I could say the book all about African elephants is about features, physical features or body parts of an African elephant and how they use those body parts to help them live and survive. That would be my main idea statement. And then I could go into my details and talk about those different physical features or body parts and how they use those. So when we start, we're actually going to take each heading or each subtopic or subtitle, all meaning the same thing in the book, and do just that and monitor our comprehension. So under each heading, and there are 3 in this book. So the first one is, if you're following along with me, is the introduction. The second heading or subtitle is an elephant's body. And the third one is an elephant's life. So your headings give you or the reader an idea of what you're going to be reading about. So when I look at these headings already, I'm thinking, this does have actually, my main idea maybe wasn't far off, where the introduction usually gives you just a little bit of information about what you're going to be reading about, maybe hits you with some important details and facts about your topic. And then I know that I'm going to be learning about an elephant's body. So maybe it's different body parts and again, how they use them. And then an elephant's life. So that might tell me maybe what it's like to be an elephant and what they do during the day, maybe how long they live, maybe where they live. So again, those headings give the reader an idea about what you're going to be reading about. And you can start to think and ask yourself questions as the reader. So for today, we are just going to take a look at our first heading, which is introduction. What we're going to do to monitor our comprehension today is to look at what's our topic, what's our main idea, and then what details does the author provide to support that main idea. Remember, when we're looking for a main idea, we're looking for repeated words that we see, repeated phrases, and see if we can fit those around a certain topic. This is some of the work that we did in class in our small group when we were using our quick reads passages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read just the introduction, start thinking about, what's the topic? What are some repeated words I hear? The beauty of this is you can write directly in the book. So if you want to underline or highlight some of those repeated words or the phrases, or maybe, hey, this is talking all about where an elephant lives. I hear Africa, I hear grasslands, I hear hot climate, and underlining those things and then developing your main idea. And then what I'm going to ask you to do, or what I'm going to model for you, is filling in this information. So as you can see, I put my topic, main idea, and my details. So here we go. This is the introduction. This animal has a trunk and tusks. It has wrinkled skin and big ears. And I see from this beautiful picture and diagram that it's showing me, these are the tusks. here's its trunk that it's talking about, and then they actually give me a nice picture of that kind of wrinkly skin. Looks kind of dry. It has big feet with pads. Sorry, it has big feet with pads on the bottom. It lives in Africa. It is an African elephant. It's just giving me some basic information, but I keep hearing this animal has, it has, it has. So, and then it tells me it's describing the body parts, and I noticed from this picture. So I'm already starting to develop maybe possibly a main idea of, I'm hearing all these details about body parts. Possibly this whole section is just telling me about the parts of the African elephant that it has on its body. I'm going to turn to the next page. Elephants are the biggest animals living on land. They can weigh as much as a truck. The biggest elephants live in Africa. And then here I have this nice map of Africa with a key telling me that those elephants live mainly in Central and Southern Africa. So as I take a look at this, I'm thinking that, that the topic is, I don't necessarily want to say elephants because I feel like that's the big, huge topic of our book, but more so to break it down to even a little bit more specific. I would say that this is about the appearance or the looks of an elephant. So I'm going to write that down right under my topic. So looks. I could also write appearance. You could also say body parts, physical characteristics, any of those would work. So when I'm thinking about my details, again, going back to it has a trunk and tusks, it has wrinkled skin and big ears, it has pads on the bottom of its feet. And then it talked about here how it's the biggest animal, so it's kind of describing them physically, and then it actually tells me they weigh a lot. So those are some of my details. From my topic and my details, I'm going to say that this main idea is mainly about what an elephant looks like, or the parts of an elephant's body. So under my main idea, I'm going to write how elephants look. They do talk about where they live, which is in Africa. It does say that actually 2 times. The biggest elephants live in Africa. It lives in Africa. However, most of these details, if I'm trying to pick out a main idea, support the looks of an elephant. So my main idea is going to be how an elephant looks. So right under my main idea, or right under, my topic, I wrote my main idea, how an elephant looks. If you need to pause this video to write this information down, please feel free to do so now. The next thing I want to fill in is my details. So if I have my topic of looks and appearance and how an elephant looks, my details have to talk about that. I'm not going to start talking about what the elephant eats, because that has nothing to do with my main idea statement. So some of the details are, it has a trunk and tusks. So I would write that down, trunk and tusks. It talks about wrinkled skin. And again, I'm writing that right in my details. So I wrote trunk and tusks. I wrote wrinkled skin, and I'm also going to add to that and big ears. There are probably, I would say maybe 2 or 3 more details you could write down here to support your main idea. So I'm going to ask that you do that now and fill in, let's say, under the details, 3 more things that support your main idea from what we read. There are a few different ways you can do this. If you choose not to write in the book and you write it on a separate sheet of paper, that's completely fine. Just make sure you keep all of your notes together, because we are going to be using them at the beginning of next week to do another activity. So make sure you're keeping those things together. Otherwise, you can feel free to write it right in the book. Or if you want to do it on a Post-it note, that's completely up to you. So what I'm asking you to do once again today is fill in 3 more details to support our main idea statement. And then please take a picture and send that to me. You can either post that on Google Classroom or you can also email it to me. I will also have directions posted on Google Classroom for this assignment, which also included a link to this video. So we will meet back here again tomorrow for another video lesson on monitoring your comprehension. Have a good day.